Not like somebody, my name is being taken in the presence of Allah. Simply because I've sat here. And I've also sat only by Allah's tawfiq. I'm here also by His tawfiq. There's no coincidence, it's not by chance. It's not that I was free, that I had some time on my hand, or my friends were going, or my father was going, my neighbors. No. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has selected and chosen us to be here. It is only with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala we are here. Because we cannot breathe without Allah's permission. Let alone take a step. Let alone make some movement. The regulation and the detail is hard by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Negation has to be total. We have to keep on reminding ourselves again and again, because the whole dunya and everything around it, as Imam Sahib read in the first rak'ah today, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He complains to us. He makes a complaint. Allah hame shikayat kare na, that what has beguiled you or took you away from the Kareem Rabb? किस चीज़ ने आपको अपने करीम रब से यानी अजनबी कर दिया है? That you have forgotten that merciful Rabb who created you from nothing and made you in perfect proportion. That who we are and what we are, Allah made us. Allah made us. And today the dunya, the world in its entirety, and shaitan and our nafs, our enemies, have beguiled us, made us confused, made us distant from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the doing. There is the gharur, is that deception that is around, that deceives us and makes us takes away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because we have to keep on bringing ourselves back to the message that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, all the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, is that the do of everything is Allah alone. All that has happened, all that is happening, all that will ever happen is only by the amr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Only by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nothing has ever happened. Nothing is happening. Nothing can happen against Allah's will. ना कभी कोई चीज़ अल्लाह की वजह खराब हुई है, ना हो रही है, ना हो सकती है. We have to reinstate this thing. We have to. It's simple, but we have to remind ourselves, because our tongues belie this, our heart belie this, our eyes, our ears, they belie this statement. Our actions show that we don't accept this reality. Our actions show when a person doesn't get up for salah in the morning, or he's too busy at work and he doesn't pray, his actions are what are his actions saying to him? His actions are saying that I am doing something. That my work is going to give me something. Otherwise, if you understood that my work is pointless, it is a tick box. I'm going through the motions. The outcome of this work is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's hand. He gives, he doesn't give, that is His decision. If I do 8-hour shift, if I do 10-hour shift, wallah, it makes no difference to my result. Wallah, it makes no difference to my result. I work 1 hour, I work 10 hours. It does make no difference to my result. This is hard to accept. Because 1 hour is X amount of money, 10 hours is X times 10. A small child knows this. Small child knows this. X times 10 is more than X. Very simple algebra. But we are told to negate this reality, this which we see as a reality, that this is not a reality, it is a deception. Somebody said this and this happened, this power, this king, this government, they didn't know. All of these are deceptions. We are told to negate all of these things. The Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam, primarily first dawah work, they negated what is the asbab around them. They negated the power that is around them. They negated that. That until you do not negate, then the confirmation of Allah Ta'ala cannot happen. Until the ghair of Allah is not removed from this heart, scraped out, it has to be scraped out. Every last drop of it has to come out. Only then will Allah Ta'ala hold himself in this heart. And if Allah does this heart, problem is solved. The Prophet ﷺ, very simple explanation is that in the body of man there is a piece of meat. If that piece of meat is corrected, then every action of man will be corrected. And if there is corruption in that meat, then every action of man will be corrupted. And what is that? That is the heart. That is the heart. That is the heart. Another occasion he says, when he's asked about taqwa, which is the the most closest bond to Allah Ta'ala, the sign of a bond, a deep bond to Allah Ta'ala is taqwa. Where is taqwa? It's not in the mind, it's not in your speech. The Prophet ﷺ was asked, what is taqwa? He said, taqwa hawna, taqwa is here. He's asking what it is. He said, the Prophet ﷺ is showing where it is. The taqwa is here, in this heart. This is the abode of taqwa. So my respected brothers, the primary effort that we are engaged in is the effort of iman, is the effort of bonding and connecting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. By negating the ghair of Allah ta'ala. Everything besides Allah is ghair. Everything besides Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala negated the Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam of the Quran. We talk about the miracles of the prophets. We are in December. People have a misconception of this. They have very, very wrong aqidah towards the Nabi. Why? Because they forgot that miracle wasn't the Nabi doing. It was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doing. They saw a man do something and they become enthralled with that man, that he did this, he must be something special. But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions these waqiyat, he says what? Bi-idhnillah. Again and again Allah says, by the permission of Allah ta'ala. Sometimes we forget, we don't say it as well. We say Isa alayhi salatu salam spoke to a dead person, he came alive. He didn't. This never happened. Allah says that Isa alayhi salatu salam spoke to a dead person, by the permission of Allah ta'ala, the dead came to life. By the permission of Allah ta'ala. He made dua for a person who was blind. By the permission of Allah ta'ala, he got his sight back. It was not Isa alayhi salatu salam who cured his blindness. It was not Isa alayhi salatu salam who cured him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala removed his blindness. Who Allah, he had afflicted him since birth. Allah removed the leprosy. Allah did that. By his permission, by the hand of Isa alayhi salatu salam. Allah did. This is why when Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam went towards the battle of Hunayn, and the Sahaba scattered. Why? Because a thought came in some people's mind. Not the majority, the minority of people participating amongst the Sahaba, a thought crept in their mind from the whispers of shaitan and nafs, that today we are more in number, we are guaranteed success. This thought came, it's just a thought. It was just a thought. एक सिर्फ ख्याल ज़हन में आया है कि हम अक्सरियत में हम पता लाजमी है. Allah Ta'ala says He removed His help. Allah Ta'ala removed His help. Allah Ta'ala put the fear of the enemy in the heart of the Muslims and removed the fear of the Muslims from the enemy's hearts. Allah saying, I did all of this. They had to run. And the Sahaba scattered. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was ordered by Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala to make Ailan, to gather the Sahaba. He was told by Allah Ta'ala to pick up some dust and to throw towards the enemies. The Sahaba saw in that situation where they are scattered, where they are running away, suddenly the Prophet of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam picks up something in his hand and he throws it. And they see this and the whole situation changes. That enemy which is dominating becomes subdued. That enemy that was winning begins to lose. Those Sahaba who are scattered begin to come together. Physical experience. Physical experience. सामने हो रहा है कि मुतफर्रिक लोग जमा हो रहे हैं. शिकस्त गलबे में आ रही है. नजर आंख से नजर आ रहा है. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala understanding that this is a path, a tangent which can corrupt. Because that shaitan and that nafs who whispered at the beginning that we are more in number, that nafs and shaitan hasn't left. They'll make a new whisper. They'll come with a new dawat, a new corruption. So Allah Ta'ala, He stopped it there and then. He said to the Prophet of Allah in the Quran that you did not hit or you did not throw. He did not say that it was me who changed this. I took those zarat, those pieces of grain, and I put them in the eyes of the non-Muslims one by one. Allah Ta'ala negates the whole act from the beginning. The first act is a throwing. Allah negates the throwing. He said, you did not throw, I threw. Allah ने शुरू से नफी की है कि आपने नहीं फेंका, हमने फेंका. हालांकि नजर क्या आया है, साहबा ने क्या देखा है, अल्लाह के रसूल को फेंकते हुए देखा है. They saw their own eyes. Allah Ta'ala says, no, I threw. I changed the situation from defeat to success. I did that. You did nothing, I did it. This is Iman is being taught through Sahaba to us. Because Sahaba were those who are actively in the field. Allah is teaching them, present and last day. Again and again, yaqeen. The Prophet ﷺ pointed towards the moon. People say, Allah ke Rasool ne chand ke do tukde kiye. Nahi kiye bhai. Nahi kiye. Allah ne kiya. Ishara Nabi ne kiya. Chand ke tukde kisne kiye? Allah ne kiye. The Prophet didn't split the moon in half. Allah split the moon in half. Because only Allah can. Only Allah has the power to do the impossible. No human being has been given that power, individually or collectively. This yaqeen was taught to this ummah. The base of our iman, the base, my brothers, of our one Allah Ta'ala is accepting His power and oneness, His grandeur and His greatness. To negate His hair at every instance, that everything we see with our eyes, we have to negate ourselves. No matter what we see, no matter what the whole world can be on one track, we have to negate. The whole world is saying one thing, we still will negate. Because this whole world is a constant motion, it's a constant test. Because when things befall us, this is our test. What do our tongues say? What comes to our tongue? This is an indicator of what is in our heart. And we have to correct. Because the first thing you have to correct, before you can correct your heart, you have to correct your speech. You have to correct your speech. Only then can you correct your heart. If you don't correct your speech, then heart cannot get correct. अगर बोल गलत है तो दिल दुरुस्त नहीं हो सकता ना. पहला हमारा अल्लाह के बोल दुरुस्त करने पड़ेंगे. दावत के बोल इसलिए बोलाए जाते हैं और बार-बार बुलाए जाते हैं कि बोल पहले दुरुस्त हो. The first thing, the speech must be correct. What we hear, what we listen to must be correct. This is why the Quran is being read in Salah now. Dawah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are unfortunate that we don't understand, and we haven't tried to even understand what is being said. But that Quran is dawah. That Allah Ta'ala is speaking to us, and He's giving us again and again. Every page of the Quran mentions the grace of Allah Ta'ala. Every page of the Quran mentions the deception of this world, and speaks of the Akhirah, the life that is to come, the reality that is to come. In the Abrar, we read the Isha today. Allah says that the people of Abrar, the successful ones, they will be in Jannah, and the failures there in Jahannam. The simple people, their abode is Jahannam. So make your choice. Will you be amongst Abrar? Will you be amongst the pious and go to Jannah? Or will you choose the path of those who are sinful and go to Jahannam? Make a choice. Because there's an outcome. Your life will have an outcome. Allah is reminding us. Allah is giving da'wah to us. Allah is speaking to us. So our hearing and then my spiritual brothers, our thinking, what we think, what we ponder about, what we daydream about, it's important. What a person thinks about is important because it is impacting on your heart. You expect, because of long-line expectations, long-line plans, what you're doing. You are being deceived by nafs and shaitan to get drowned in this dunya, forgetting your akhirah. This is shaitan's duty. Your son is born, shaitan already saying to you, not saying to you, iski shaadi karni hai. He's born today, shaadi ki plan zehn mein aa rahi hai. Kahan shaadi karunga? Where will I get him married? Oh my God, my house is 3 bedroom, no come going to live. You know, I need a 4 bed, I need another bedroom. He's 1 month old. But already nafs is whispering to you, need another bigger house. He started. You don't know, Allah, if he's going to live till his marriageable age. But already your planning is put in place. And when the son's planning is finished, then the grandchildren's planning starts. Planning starts. My grandfather, when I asked my father for 4 months, he clicked on me, stopped talking to me, everything. So my grandfather, he clicked on, something's not right. He said to me, something's not right with you and your father, what's happened? I said, I want to go 4 months, and he's like, totally went like ballistic. So he said, okay. So he came to me after this, I spoke to your father. And I've said to him, he won't take it to you again now. What did you say to him? I said to him, I came to this country because I was an orphan and had a lot of debts. I came here to pay my debts. In the 1950s, I came to claim my debts. Came to claim my debts. I don't know what happened. I started working, and somebody said to me, you have sons in Pakistan, there's useless in Pakistan, bring them here, they will help you, your qarda will get cleared quicker. So I bought 1 son, then 2, then 3. Why? The whole aim is to clear the qarza, close to 8 lakh rupees. This is 50, so a lot of money. 8 lakh it goes. It goes, where the dunya, where life went. My sons grew up, I married them off. Then you all came along, and now you're getting married. You know, they started, my grandchildren started getting married. And that 1 lakh, that target was there, the target is, I don't know where the target is gone. And I said to my son that our whole life is wasted with one task, and there's one guy of mine is trying to do something for Akhirat. Don't you ever dare stop him, because that's the one thing that we have failed in the last 40 years of striving and struggling is all our effort was for that one luck. And if all of us stop working, we can survive. If all of us stop working, we have enough capital that we don't need to work. The whole family can sit and eat of what we have, and we won't starve. But still we are working. So if he wants to do something for Akhirat, let him do it. Because we have targets which are, Shaitan moves the goalpost. Nafs, they move the goalpost. They don't let you say, oh, bas kar lo, theek hai. We work in our field, we need to be 75 full-time employees. What the hell, I'm 75 full-time employees, pension, we got pension, and you're working. What? Because the life will become so thingy that they don't understand anything else. I asked a doctor, 74 years old, oh my, why are you working? And he goes, I can't maintain my standard of living. My mind said, well, what kind of standard of living do you need to have? At the age of 74, you have to work. With a pension, with all investments, and all of these things that you must have earned in your life, being the most highest earning person in our community, and you still have to. This is what Nafs and Shaitan does to you. Because they are your enemies. They will grind you, they will grind you. They will grind you, because that's what they're doing. They're not your khair. They have no good intention towards you. They don't wish anything good for you. They will grind you to the ground. With this whole chakra of standard of living and this area and this postcode and that postcode and this car and this place and this holiday, they will keep on grinding and grinding, and you leave this dunya, and when maut comes to you, malakul maut comes, and all the high of souls, Aisha Zindagi, that's what you are left with. Remorse and regret. I missed out of this. Oh my God, I've got nothing to take with me in Akhirat, and now you're struggling to do some sadaqah, some charity. Oh, I've got to do me, I've got qaza to do. I have people, Allah from my hand in my hajj. They get ill and say, I missed out on these opportunities. I delayed, now I can't physically go anymore. Because that's what Nafs and Shaitan is doing to you. So we have to break that cycle, respected brothers. So our dawat, by coming on dawat, is for us to combat the dawat of Nafs and Shaitan. This is what dawat is. You are negating what they are calling towards. You are going against your enemy. You are in direct challenge to him. So our speech, our listening, our thinking, we have to control. We have to keep on coming back to the maqsad again and again. We have to reset. We have to restart. It happens. You see Allahu Akbar and Salah and Nafs and Shaitan, they come with everything. One after the other. You try to get one thing out of your mind, you do something else. He comes with a kid, then he goes to wife, then he goes to business, then he comes to something else. He's constantly coming with different things. And you run with it for a minute, and then you realize, oh, I'm having Salah. You hear Allah Akbar, you go to Ruku because you're autopilot. People say, what is Magam Jal? What is Imam Sahib? Allah Maafirmani, we read ourselves, we got Imam Sahib read. Imam Sahib read some Isha, Imam Sahib padha na, what I read in my Sunto mein kya padha, what I read in my Sunnats? Autopilot, I don't know, I read big Kul Allah because that's what autopilot is in the Surah Fatih Kul Allah, Allah Akbar, up and down, because we don't know what we're reading because we're autopilot, which Surah do I read? We forget ourselves. I read it and I don't know what I read. So we have to reset. Again, we have to keep reminding ourselves. I started to say to us that in a whole salah, at least once, if this thought has not come, that I'm in front of Allah Ta'ala, then that's what the salah is. There is no salah. And the reality is that a whole salah can go by, and a person hasn't thought of Allah Ta'ala. He said, Allahu Akbar, and Allah never came in the equation. He worshipped Allah Ta'ala. He did the worship of Allah Ta'ala, but Allah didn't come in the equation. He never communicated with him. He hasn't, because he hasn't prepared himself. The High Sallallahu will say to us that when you sit in Salah, give dawah to the person next to you. Give dawah to the person next to you, that how blessed we are that we are in the masjid, Allah Ta'ala allowed us to now pray to Him. Remind Him of the fadail, the virtues of the salah, so that when you stand in salah, you are mindful of what you are going to do. This is why we have sunnah before salah, for us to engage, for us to prepare for the farad. That when we start behind the imam, we are in a mindset that I am going to stand in front of Allah Ta'ala. I am going directly in front of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. What Allah Ta'ala says, you worship Him as if you see Him. And if you cannot see Him, then understand this, that for sure He sees you. You may not hear Him, but for sure He hears you. This is the minimum you have to have. The minimum you must have is that if I cannot see Allah Ta'ala, if I cannot hear Allah Ta'ala, if I cannot perceive Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, He hears me, He sees me, and He perceives me. All the time. But in salah, His special attention is towards me. Oh son of Adam, what is better than me that has made you forgetful? Allah Ta'ala says for people in salah who turn, they are distracted in salah. He mentions in hadith that Allah Ta'ala uses this, oh son of Adam, what has distracted you from me? Or what is better than me that you have become distracted? Not in dunya, not outside, in here. So we have to keep on, this is a constant effort, my brothers. This is a constant effort. When we do these three things, the fourth thing will start to happen. And what is the fourth thing? Our eyes. That we start to see the greatness of Allah Ta'ala. Around us we see the amr of Allah Ta'ala at work. We see the power of Allah Ta'ala at work. We don't see the dunya. We don't see the creation. We don't see the asbab. We see Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. I started to give an example, very simple. He said, how can you see Allah Ta'ala? He said the example is very simple. If a person is walking on the street, he sees a 5-year-old child. 5 साल का बच्चा नजर आता है, कहता है कि मेरे दोस्त का बेटा है। दोस्त तो नहीं है सामने, लेकिन दोस्त है ना, उसके बेटे में बाप नजर आता है। First, he is a 5-year-old child. He said, this is my friend's son. His friend is not there. But because he has a bond with that friend, in that child he sees his friend. He doesn't see the child, he sees his friend. When a Muslim makes effort upon his iman and he speaks about Allah Ta'ala, he listens about Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, he thinks about Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, then he will see Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. He will see Allah Ta'ala. Like the Sahabi lying on the roof of his house, he saw the stars. Allah mentioned in the Quran, he saw the stars. What did he see? He didn't see stars. He saw Allah's perfection. He saw Allah's perfection. Ma khalaqta hadha batila. He said, Ya Allah, you did not create this useless. You did not create this beauty of the stars useless. And then he reminded himself, because this is Yaqeen al-Din. Yaqeen al-Din, he said, Ya Allah, what? Save me from your punishment. Faqina adhab an-nar. Ya Allah, save me from the punishment of your fire. Because like this is the creation that you have created in perfection. There's an akhir that you have created. And save me from the punishment. A Sahabi feels the heat of the sand. What is he doing? He takes off his shirt and he lies himself in that sand. And he says to himself that if you cannot take the heat of this sand, how will you take the heat of Allah's punishment? How many stories we read of Sahaba radiallahu anhu in Hayatul Sahaba, in Hikayat Sahaba, their fear of Allah Ta'ala, that small things would remind them of Allah Ta'ala. This is why their speech, their hearing, their thinking was corrected. Therefore their sight was correct as well. Their sight was correct as well. Because everything else is wrong. Our sight also sees everything. We see like everybody else. We think like everybody else. We speak like everybody else. So dawat, the bunyadi dawat is this. Correct our speech. Correct our listening. This is why one is saying that in the masjid we make the halqa of imaniyat on a daily basis, that we have to reset ourselves. We need a reset every day, every single one of us. Whether he is educated or uneducated. Whether he is very dindar or little dindar. Very punctual in ibadat or not punctual in ibadat. Every single person needs to be reminded again and again. He needs dawat again and again. Dawat is for me. Dawat is for me. I need dawat. I cannot survive without it, my brothers. I cannot survive without dawat. This dunya will eat me alive. Nafs and shaitan will make me a plaything. They will play with me in such a way that I will be thinking I'll do something good and I'll be doing something bad. This is how much they will play with me. Without dawat, we are putting ourselves in the hands of our enemies. Because we are giving ourselves to nafs and shaitan and their dawat. We are giving ourselves the dunya, the dawat of dunya.